So we are here our learning outcomes. First, explain why CPD is necessary for professional teachers. Second, discuss pertinent provisions of CPD Act of 2016 and other related legal documents. And third, commit to the continuing professional development.
Today, I'm going to tackle about the continuing professional development, the lifeblood of the teaching profession. Professional license for teaching obtained after passing the licensure examination for the teachers or LET simply tells that the professional teachers possesses the minimum competences expected of professional teachers. Hence, every professional teacher expected to continue developing after obtaining his or her professional license. This is one big demand of a professional teacher. The Code of Professional Conduct for the Public School Teacher cited in Section 7 of Republic Act 4670 state that responsibility is something expected of the professional teacher. The work of the teacher and development and guidance of the young is the tremendous responsibility.
And now I will discuss the historical and legal basis of continuing professional development or what we say CPD. Batas Pambansa 232, the Education Act of 1982. Chapter 3, Duties and Obligations, Section 16, states that one of the teacher's obligations is to assume the responsibility to maintain and sustain his professional growth and advancement. RA 9155, Framework of Governance for Basic Education and enacted on August 11, 2001. Section 7A. In addition to his or her powers under existing laws, the Secretary of Education shall have authority and responsibility, among other things, for employment status, professional competence, welfare, and working conditions. Section 7E. Consistent with the national education policies and plans and standards, the school heads should have authority, accountability, responsibility, and encouraging staff development. RS 7836. The Teachers Professionalization Act also provided for mandatory continuing professional education or CPE. Encourage professional growth and development, to provide additional basis for merit promotion, oral and written examination at least once in 5 years. Resolution number 435, Section 177, to adopt the Code of Ethics for Professional Teachers. Article 11, RA 7836, otherwise known as the Philippine Teachers Professionalization Act of 1994, this Code of Ethics states every teacher shall participate in the Continuing Professional Education or CPE program of the PRC. And also, this Code of Ethics also states should pursue such other studies as will improve his efficiency, enhance the prestige of his profession, and strengthen his competence, virtues, and productivity. Executive Order Number 266. Signed and issued by the office of the former President Fidel V. Ramos on July 25, 1995. And now let's proceed to the salient provisions of RA 10912, the Continuing Professional Development Act of 2016. This act is a bill requiring professionals to undergo further formal and informal learning programs before they can renew their license. Republic Act 10912, Article 1, Declaration of Policy, is an act which requires CPD as the mandatory requirement for the renewal of professional identification card. And this act states shall institute measures that will continuously improve the competence of the professionals, ensure their contribution in uplifting the general welfare, economic growth, and development of the nation. Number of CPD units required. Article 3, Section 10. The CPD is made as a mandatory requirement in the renewal of the professional identification card of all registered and licensed professionals. Ways by which professional teachers can earn credit units. First, professional track. Second, academic track. Third, self-directed track. And last, the productive scholarship. Professional track trainings provided by CPD providers accredited by PRC, participate to training by CPD Council, serve as resource speaker trainer or demonstration teacher, and etc. Academic track: completion of master's degree, completion of candidacy to the doctorate program, completion of the doctorate program, completion of a postdoctoral diploma, and a recipient of a professional chair grant and or fellowship grant. And let's proceed to the self-directed track. Trainings offered by non-accredited CPD providers. Productive Scholarship has developed program, training modules, curriculum guide, or any resource material, and has written an article in a professional magazine or a technical research paper.
Continuing professional development plan. Developing a personal CPD plan helps teacher leaders develop purposefully. A CPD plan should be made concrete in a simple and doable plan. So here's the template for our CPD plan. Teacher's Individual Plan for Professional Development or IPPD. So here's the objectives indicated, methods, strategies, resources, time frame, success indicator. So the example of the objectives is what are those competence will you going to enhance? What professional activity will you undertake to achieve the objective? What will you do to access resources? What you do to expect to have accomplished? And others. Personal CPD plan. Here are also training needs, objectives, activity, resources needed, time frame, expected output, and expected outcome. So, joining professional learning community of practice. Professional learning communities or PLCS. School learning action cells or SLACs. Next, learning from the CPD practices of the high-performing countries. So, there's Singapore's and others. So, in Singapore, first to institutionalize PLC, school as learning organization, every teacher is entitled to 100 hours per year of optional training. Schools are encouraged to provide teachers at least 1 hour a week to engage in PD initiatives. For PD, Singapore has teacher researcher networks. Number 2, lesson, study, and other forms of learning circles. Teacher researcher networks. Learning communities serve as mentors to conduct and action research. Overall goal is to provide teachers with resources to engage in action research. So there are 5 steps. Number 1, identification and definition of a problem. Number 2, planning for improvement. Number 3, implementation of teaching learning activities. Number 4, observation of result, data collection. Number 5, reflection of outcomes. Overall, goal is to foster collaboratively, inquiry, and data-driven pedagogical reflection. So there are 4 cyclical phases. First is study phase, planning phase, analysis phase, reflection phase. So in CPD in Finland, plan and develop curriculum. So while in Japan, the CPD in Japan, lesson study, teachers and lessons are being observed, theme, frequency of research lessons, refine, consult, reflect, learn, and build, public research lessons. While the CPD in New Zealand, there are 2, funds for teachers, observe, and confer. So there are characteristics of effective CPD. So 5 characteristics. 1 is continuous, 2 collaborative, 3 focus on a specific teacher need, 4 job embedded, 5 given enough time, and 6 funded.